Conversations with the Citizen. I'm your host, Tia Carol Jones. I'm here today with LaTanya Johnson, founder of LaTanya and the Youth of Englewood organization. Welcome to the show.
Hey Tia, how you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Good, good. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Yes, I love it. Yes, bring some energy.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a mother of 4. I'm born and raised in Englewood. I don't even know what else, but that's it. You know, you want me to tell you my age? Or I be telling. So yeah, I'm a mother of 4, born and raised in Englewood, went to school there, and yeah, love my community.
Okay. What led you to the founding of LaTanya and the Youth of Englewood?
Just basically, living there, being there myself as a kid, and being raised there. There was a lack of resources that were there, and the lack of resources continued on as an adult. And so, as me having my children, I started to notice, as they got older, that I would have a lot of kids, come to my house, and it's like, okay, these babies have nothing to do. I said, I need to figure out something. I said, God, is you telling me something? Is it the kids that I need to be trying to work with? So, just seeing the kids outside with nothing to do, and, I stepped in. You had kids from everywhere on different blocks where they shouldn't have been. And so, just to give them something to do, that's why I come in at.
Since 2013, how many children have you serviced through the organization?
Wow, thousands. I mean, even hosting events and being able to, give things, thousands of kids.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those events that you have?
Oh, yeah. So I do Easter, which is coming up, and those are all free events. I do Christmas. I give out toys. I have maybe life-size characters. Well, let's just go back to December. So let me talk about the Christmas event really quick. So for that event, there were life-size characters. They were game and truck. There were food. There was entertainment by the Michael Jackson, the impersonator. He came through and made it happen for the kids. So, Thanksgiving, I didn't do it this year, but I'm definitely on. Last year, but I'm definitely on it this year because I normally feed hot meal for Thanksgiving. No matter who it is, you just come and you get a meal. Halloween, what I did was during the pandemic, I had asked business owners from 63rd to 55th to Ashland to bring their candy and things outside so that the kids can have a safe trick-or-treat in our own community. We haven't did that in so long because a lot of us take our kids out the community. Mm-hmm. So, and then we do Easter, so I give out Easter baskets, like hundreds of Easter baskets every year.
Okay. And when is that Easter event?
So we have not actually put the date to it just yet, but we're working on it. We're actually working on a date, just making sure that, everything come together,
Great. Why do you feel it's important to engage the young people in the community?
Are we being specific? Are we talking about maybe the older kids or just in general?
All of the kids.
It's important because, our kids' needs, their wants, their hopes, their values mean everything. Mm-hmm. And so when I started to see that, things, kids, stuff that kids needed and they couldn't get or they weren't able to do or, everybody's living in poverty. So that's, that plays a really big part. So I like to make sure that anything that I do, I always ask the kids, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this event? What should we have? So when they call out these different things, I actually implement them and make them happen. So, yeah.
What are some of the ways you engage with the youth in the community? You already talked about the Christmas and the Easter and Halloween, but what are some of the other things that you're doing?
And so we have a year-round program.
Okay.
So LaTanya the Englewood is a year-round program, and there's after school is school year, And there's homework, there's, homework, we feed them, there's playtime, there's a lot of times projects that they have to do. So, just like for Black History, we actually, they actually did a march through the center.
Okay.
And, just keeping them engaged and keeping them up on what's going on, because they didn't even know about Emmett Till. So I just was like, okay, let me start putting that in. Let me start putting this into their brain so that they'll know who he is. And then we went to visit the house.
Okay.
So I took the kids to visit the house, and it was just amazing to me because I had never seen it. And so just keeping them engaged, involved in a positive environment, keeping them uplifted, keeping them educated, and just keeping them on the right track.
You have been recognized for your work with the community. How does that feel, and what do you think that means about the importance of the work that you do?
Well, it's wonderful to be recognized when you're doing the work. Because sometimes in your mind, you're just like, what do I need to do? Mm-hmm. Like, what other steps do I need to take, for people to see or notice, the thing, that I'm actually serving my community. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, it was just like, we all came together, to even just support each other, and it's very important to feel important within your community, because I'm born and raised there. So, you know everything. You kind of know, what's needed, what's not, how to work with your kids, So, yeah, like, it's very important to be recognized.
On your website, it says children are resilient. During the pandemic, how have you been able to provide much needed resources and support to the community through your organization?
Kids, sometimes you got those kids who get into these little crowds and they feel like they belong there, mm-hmm. until something really happens. And it's just like, let me think. It's almost like playing chess, right? So they have to think about it. It's like, okay, should I be with them doing this or getting ready to do this, or should I just go on? And a lot of times the kids, because I've been working with these kids for all these years, mm-hmm. They tend to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I know it's wrong and I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. So I like that they notice things before they even move, So it's just like playing chess. What was your second question? I'm sorry. What was the second part?
During the pandemic, how have you been able to provide resources?
So during the pandemic, me and some other organization leaders came up with COVID-19 activity relief bags. I'm not sure if you guys seen that. But we did like these activity bags for children where they had different activities in them. It could have been coloring books. It could have been workbooks, reading books, snack packs on the inside. And there's just a lot of different stuff that the kids can, stay busy with during that pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I also given away food. What else have I did? Oh, God. I've given away food, clothes, shoes. If someone need me, I'm there. Okay. So, and that still applies to today. Mm-hmm.
Through working with the youth in Englewood, what is it they truly need?
A lot of times I say, and again, to me, it kind of depends on the age, because the older ones can speak for themselves. Mm-hmm. To me, youth have a voice. And that's why I stated in the other question that a lot of time my kids will say, hey, well, what about this? Or, well, what about that? Well, can we do this? And can we do that? If I, if I do something different, it's like, well, I don't want to do that. They just don't want to do it, mm-hmm. right? So again, they have a voice. So if they say, hey, can we, let me see, can we, go and take pictures of flowers? So I got these little cameras. They can go and they can take pictures, and then they can tell me what those pictures mean, right? So yeah, so the kids to me, they have a voice. They have a voice. I mean, they need love, they need stability, they need support. You know, they need all the way around the board. Just whatever you name, just all the way around the board is what they need. You know.
Where can people go to find out more about LaTanya and the Youth of Englewood organization?
So you can go to our website at LaTanyaandtheYouthofEnglewood.org. Also our Facebook page at LaTanya and the Youth of Englewood. Our Instagram page. If you would like to reach out by email, you can email me at LaTanyaJ703@gmail.com, or you can email me at LaTanya.LTYOE@gmail.com.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like our audience to know?
Well, yeah, because I really didn't like get into it like I need to, so I just want to kind of just tell them briefly about the organization because I didn't get into it. LaTanya Johnson, mother of 4. I run a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I work with kids ages 5 and up, recreational activities, educational programming, mentorship, entrepreneurship, community events, family supports, you name it, we do it all for free. I've been doing this for almost 9 years, totally free to the children in our community because when I was younger, I couldn't afford the YMCA and I couldn't afford the Boys and Girls Club and I couldn't afford the Park District. So I was one of those kids that were kind of just outside, you know. So and again, I do what I do for these kids because they're in need. They need us. Not just me, they need us. It take a village. Where did they go? They just lost it all. So now these kids are just out here. And they all over the place. And so, I'm glad that I'm able to support the parents that I service through my program because they're still working parents, and again, the kids leave school, they're going home to an empty home. And they got to find something to eat, they got to do this, they got to do that. So then they outside. Once they're done with their homework, then they go out and then they're getting into stuff because their parents are still at work or whatever the case may be. So that's the need for my services.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen, the place where real news